Part 10. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 91. Chapter 91. Tell her I'm back. Tian Hui was caught in the middle of the crowd. She was constantly being pointed at. Her face was hot. She was half angry and half ashamed. Ever since she met the Sang Mengzing, she had never been okay. Feng Shuang stood behind Tian Hui with sinister eyes, but she knew very well that now was not a good time to fight back, because the young master of the Ye family was still here. She gently pulled Tian Hui's sleeve and said sensibly, "Aunt, let's go back. Maybe I really misunderstood my sister. Maybe my sister has worked very hard this month, so she has learned all the knowledge points in the 3 years of high school. Both of us feel ashamed, but sister, I will definitely surpass you in the next exam. You're welcome at any time." Feng Ling looked at Ye Qinghan expressionlessly. "I have something else to do, so I'll leave first. Be careful on the road." "See you later." Feng Ling waved her hand, and the moment she turned her head, her original dark eyes suddenly changed. Feng Ling scratched her hair irritably. "Tut, it started again, it's really annoying." Feng Shuang saw the man in front of her who was supposed to be feared by everyone and was called the devil speaking to Feng Ling in such a gentle tone, and she felt jealous in her heart. All this should be hers, why should Feng Ling get there first? She could even imagine the scene of everyone groveling in front of her when she became the mistress of the Ye family in the future, but all of this was destroyed by Feng Ling. Feng Shuang gritted her teeth, and the bone-chilling cold wind poured into her collar, paralyzing her body. The phone in her pocket vibrated for a long time before Feng Shuang could feel it. Shuang, come to Dingsheng to record. There are a lot of people coming to record today, so we have to hurry up. Dingsheng's recording studio is one of the top in the country, and all singers' first choice is Dingsheng. It's just that because there are too many monks and too little food, it is extremely difficult to grab a position in a period of prosperity. Okay, I understand, I'll come over right now. Feng Shuang squeezed her hands. It doesn't matter, Ye Xiao can see Feng Ling, and he will definitely be able to see her, as long as she releases an album, as long as her singing can enter Ye Xiao's ears. Feng Shuang gradually calmed down and returned to her usual soft voice. "Auntie, I'm going to record, and I may not be able to accompany you home. Xiao 11 should have finished school too. Why don't you ask where Xiao 11 is and go back with her? I know, you record well, that girl might be having fun somewhere, so don't worry about her. Auntie is happier than anything else because you are making a difference." Tian Hui patted her shoulder seriously. Feng Shuang smiled and nodded. The two of them looked like a loving mother and daughter. Su family. Su Zioxi made a cup of oolong tea and sat on the balcony. The cold air came very quickly this year. After only sitting for a short while, her cheeks and palms were turned red from the cold. "Miss, my wife is back, why don't you go and have a look?" "Does she want to see me?" Su Zioxi's voice was cold, with no emotion. It was the first time that the servant heard Su Zioxi speak in this tone. In the past, although Su Zioxi and Tian Hui often broke up on bad terms, it had never been like this. It seems to give people the illusion that they want to part ways with Tian Hui. But, how is this possible? "Miss is my wife's daughter." The maid shook her head and wiped out those thoughts in her mind. "That lady. Tell her I'm back." "Yes, miss." The maid glanced at Su Zioxi doubtfully, then followed the order and walked down the stairs. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 92. Chapter 92. I eat alone. After the maid left, Su Zioxi got up and walked behind the stairs. She hid in the dark through the wall beside the stairs and listened to the conversation between the two women downstairs. "Madam, you are back. Miss is in the room and hasn't eaten yet. Do you want to eat with her?" the maid asked as she changed Tian Hui's shoes. "Not yet eat?" Tian Hui was originally in a bad mood today. When she heard that Su Zioxi hadn't eaten yet, she subconsciously thought that she had been out wandering around until now. At that moment, he shouted to the top of the building, "Su Zioxi, come down here. What else do you know besides playing all day long? How many more points did you drop in this exam? Can you save me some trouble?" Su Hui cursed as she walked up the stairs. "Why did I give birth to a daughter like you? It's all a joke. Now I don't dare to mention you in front of others. When people ask me about your grades, I feel ashamed for you." The night light penetrated the wall and shone into the corner where Su Zioxi was hiding. The girl slowly squatted down and hugged herself into a ball. At this moment, she suddenly realized that she could not go back, and nothing could go back. The damage has been done, the line between her and Tian Hui has long been torn apart, and the only remaining connection is blood. She closed the door, locked it, opened the drawer, and took out her earplugs to block out the sound she didn't want to hear. Tears fell ruthlessly down her cheeks, one drop after another. For the first time, she discovered that she could cry so well. There was a big raccoon next to me. It was the last birthday before Feng Shuangshuang came in. There was a patch on it, which was cut with scissors when Tian Hui lost her temper. At that time, she attributed her poor grades to this bear. Because she hugged the bear every day, later she stopped hugging it in front of Tian Hui so much. But what she couldn't figure out was why she should give it to her if she didn't like it. Su Zioxi has a diary in her drawer, which she has kept for 3 years. From the beginning of her resentment towards Feng Shuangshuang to her frustration towards Tian Hui, it contains too much of her, and she doesn't want to be noticed by outsiders. On this day, Su Zioxi sealed the diary with a lock. After she sorted out the wrong questions, she tore up the test paper and threw it in the trash can. Outside, Tian Hui got tired of scolding and called Su Ming, "Come here and take care of your daughter." She just wandered outside as soon as she finished the exam and didn't come back until now. She didn't even look at how she got her grades. Su Ming was busy when he suddenly heard Tian Hui's scolding and was startled. "Didn't Zioxi say that she got into the top 50 in the school this time? What are you angry about?" "What?" This time it was Tian Hui's turn to be stunned, but soon she yelled again, "I just passed the test by luck once, and with such a ghostly look, I don't know how many places I will fall next time. I'm so angry, Su Ming, let me tell you, you don't know how to work outside every day, can you teach your daughter?" I yell here every day in a thankless manner, but she not only doesn't understand, but also locks the door. Who can show her shame? The door to Su Zioxi's room was opened. The girl's body was cold and she ignored the crazy woman in front of her. "Sister-in-law son, I'm hungry and want to eat." "Oh, okay, miss, please wait a moment, I will serve it to you right now." Su Zioxi nodded, "Just bring it to my room. I'll eat it alone." Sister-in-law son was stunned for a moment, then responded. Tian Hui grabbed Su Zioxi's clothes and pushed her forward. Su Zioxi staggered and almost fell down. "What do you mean, show me your face, is this?" End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 93. Chapter 93. Are you following me? Su Zioxi paused and said, "Mom, do you really don't want me to be your daughter? What do you think? It's better to let Shuangshuang be my daughter and save the trouble." "Okay, I get it. In this case, then Mom, let Feng Shuangshuang be your daughter." She gave in. Heyday. Gu Bei looked left and right at the gate, finally expecting his little ancestor to come. He chopped his feet and hurriedly walked up. "Oh, little ancestor, you are finally here. What's wrong?" Gu Bei can be regarded as a fast-paced person, and he would not be so anxious about anything important. Ning Shu got into a fight with someone. Ning Shu, Feng Ling imagined the scene of that gentle Jiangnan woman getting angry and fighting with others. Tisk, why does it feel a bit scary? Fight with whom? Your sister, Feng Shuang. If it weren't for Feng Shuang, how could Ning Shu have such a temperament and start a fight with others? Gu Bei rubbed his eyebrows and felt a little headache. Ning Shu is good at everything, but she is too protective of Feng Ling. One of the reasons why she entered the music circle is that she wants to trample Feng Shuang under her feet one day, so that she will never recover. Because she bullied Feng Ling. He carefully avoided Feng Shuang, but unexpectedly he met her here. The key is that Feng Shuang shamelessly wants to steal Ning Shu's exclusive recording studio. It would be really weird if Ning Shu didn't hit her. Who wins? At the moment, Ning Shu has the upper hand. Although she usually looks gentle, it was only after fighting that she suddenly realized, oh, she turned out to be a black belt in Taekwondo and had participated in provincial competitions. Feng Ling nodded happily, well, not bad, there is progress. Go and have a look, it's a rare little lemon fight, don't miss it. Gu Bei. Little ancestor, I asked you to break up the fight, not to cheer them up. Why are you standing there? Let's go. Feng Ling picked up Gu Bei's collar and pulled him away. Gu Bei. Who is the man? Feng Ling, you won't be able to get married like this. His poor neck. Can you mention it in another place next time? Feng Shuang, I made a reservation at this time. You came in 40 minutes early to disturb me. Why do you want me to leave right after the time? Ning Shu was so angry that she left. Feng Shuang has been a little princess for a long time, so she doesn't know how dangerous society is, right? This peak belongs to her family Lingling, and the VIP room is also a recording studio specially built for her by her family Lingling. It was because she didn't need to use the recording studio all the time that she rented it out according to time periods. Unexpectedly, it was rented to the person she least wanted to meet. Ning Shu, who do you think you are you worthy of making demands from me? I am a signed singer of Dingsheng branch music, what about you? Feng Shuang looked at him disdainfully, what else is there besides a passable face? Ning Shu, this circle requires background. You don't have any background. Do you really think you can get ahead in this circle? Do you believe that with just one word from me, you can get out of this circle tomorrow? You can try to see if you get out first or Ning Shu gets out first. A familiar voice sounded at the door. Feng Shuang stiffened and turned to look out the door. Feng Ling, why are you here? She has investigated and found that Feng Ling's background is completely blank. She is just a scumbag who knows nothing. How come it is at its peak at this time? Are you following me? How could my little ancestor follow you? End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 94. Chapter 94. Your people? Dingsheng is the little ancestor's territory. She can come and leave whenever she wants. Feng Shuang, did you get my consent for bullying me? Feng Ling leaned against the wall and looked at Feng Shuang with a half smile, a cold light flashing in his eyes. Your people. Feng Shuang glanced at Ning Shu. She had been debuting for 3 years, and Feng Ling was arrested and sent to prison 3 years ago and was only recently released. No matter how you think about it, there is no way that these two people have any connection, right? Could it be that Feng Ling wants to make a debut based on Ning Shu's fame? Thinking about this, Feng Shuang became even more disdainful of Feng Ling. Relying on Ning Shu, who has no background but only a voice, I really don't know whether Feng Ling is really stupid or pretending to be stupid. She sneered coldly, my good sister, I think you are too naive. In the music industry, everyone relies on power, but you actually chose such a little girl who wants background but no background, and wants status but no status. Haven't you always been proud? Today I will show you what kind of world the powerful control in this circle. Ningshu. Is there something wrong with this girl's brain? Stepping on someone else's territory, it's okay if you don't have a little humility, but you still talk about power and power with others. There are really few people in the world who can compare with Feng Ling. Ningshu rubbed her eyebrows and could even foresee the future. Feng Shuang had been waiting for the scene where Feng Ling was shocked and apologized to her, but from the beginning to the end, Feng Ling just looked at her with an indifferent expression, as if he was looking at a fool. The longer time went by, the more uneasy Feng Shuang felt. Just when she was about to speak, Feng Ling suddenly said, "Okay, then let me see how much power you mean. Can you be big enough to raise this great prosperity to the ground for me?" Feng Ling, what are you daydreaming about? Do you know what position Ding Sheng occupies in the music industry? Do you still want to raise Ding Sheng to the ground? After staying in prison for a few years, you don't know what's going on when you get out? Feng Shuang rolled his eyes, then looked at the man next to him and motioned for him to drive Feng Ling, Ningshu, and Gu Bei out. The man nodded, his tone full of warning, "If you know what's going on, just go out, otherwise don't blame us for being rude. You try. Then you can't blame me." The man squinted his eyes, took out his mobile phone and sent a text message. Soon, a person appeared at the gate. Before he could see the specific situation inside, he loudly shouted for people to take Feng Ling and the three people away. Feng Shuang sat on the side, and the man poured her a glass of water, which was her favorite tea recently. She looked condescendingly at the three people who were about to be driven away. The depression of these days was instantly swept away. No matter how high your score is, Feng Ling, it doesn't matter. In this world, without a background, you will always be someone else's subordinate. The corners of Feng Shuang's mouth slowly rose, but stopped abruptly the next moment. "Pan Yu, are you sure you want to drive me away?" The man who was about to take action, why does this voice sound familiar? He raised his head and focused through the dim light on the face of the girl in the middle. Suddenly his face turned pale. Feng, Ms. Feng. Do you still know whose heyday belongs to? I thought you didn't know. Feng Ling walked up to Pan Yu and said, "I asked you to manage it for me, and you managed it for me like this? Since when can Dingsheng branch recruit random people without my consent? Since when can the holder of this VIP room no longer be able to come as he pleases?" End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 95. Chapter 95. You are greedy. The girl's voice became deeper and deeper, like a death bell, ringing the alarm in Pan Yu's ears countless times. "Pan Yu, did I give you too much power, so you are greedy?" Pan Yu's face turned pale. He thought about it countless times but never thought that Feng Shuang had offended the CEO of Dingsheng. He has seen Feng Ling's methods before, and it is precisely because he has seen them before that he is afraid. If he offends Feng Ling, the result will not be as simple as losing his job. She is a demon who climbed up from hell. Plop. Pan Yu knelt straight on the ground, crying and begging Feng Ling to let him go. His mouth shouted for life, not for forgiveness. Ningshu looked at Pan Yu indifferently, feeling nothing. Even though she and Pan Yu had communicated because of work. However, as long as he hurts her Lingling, no matter who he is her enemy. Feng Shuang looked at everything that happened in front of her, her mind not turning around at all. "Pan Yu, what are you doing? What kind of president of Dingsheng? Are you crazy? How can she be the president of Dingsheng? If Feng Ling can become the CEO, Sao's can reach heaven. How is it impossible? Dingsheng Industry has it written in black and white that its owner is Feng Ling." Pan Yu regretted it too much. If he had known this, he should not have agreed to Feng Shuang's request because he was greedy for money. Now, his job is considered completely obscene. Thinking of this, Pan Yu's heart bleeds. Ding Sheng has always provided good welfare for its employees. If he stays here, he will have no worries about food and clothing for the rest of his life. Boom. It was as if a bomb had been activated in Feng Shuang's brain, blowing up all her thoughts. She stared blankly at the girl, wanton, flamboyant, confident, and perverse. She thought she was pretending to be condescending, pretending to be dismissive, but the truth slapped her hard. Fen Ling was not pretending. She had wealth that she could not even imagine now. She knows very well what prosperity means. Fen Ling, as the most prosperous company in the world, occupies half of the music industry and even the entertainment industry. She took 2 steps back, still unable to believe it. Fen Ling, didn't you just come out of prison? Feng Shuang, Ding Sheng was established 3 years ago. At that time, she had not yet gone to jail, and that incident had not happened yet. In other words, 3 years ago, she, Feng Shuang, was already destined to be unable to surpass Fen Ling. This blow made Feng Shuang's legs weak and her eyes darkened. He kept saying, "This is impossible." Fen Ling looked down at her with mixed emotions. Feng Shuang had been pampered since she was a child. Because she was not controlled, her parents gave Feng Shuang all their expectations and love. Little did they know that these 2 extreme loves established the foundation of their sisterhood. 2 current situations. Fen Ling's hands behind her back were tightly curled up. Feng Shuang, please leave on your own, you are not welcome in Ding Sheng. Fen Ling, I am your sister. At this moment, Feng Shuang suddenly remembered the fact that Fen Ling was her sister. It used to be Fen Ling stopped looking at her and waved to Gu Bei, "Let them leave." Fen Ling, how dare you? Ms. Feng Shuang, please don't think of yourself as an onion. In Ding Sheng, you can't even compare to a piece of lotus in our garden. Gu Bei made a gesture of invitation. Ms. Feng Shuang, do you want to go on your own? Well, I'd better ask you to go out. You. Feng Shuang gritted her teeth angrily. Fen Ling, just wait for me. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 96. Chapter 96. I'll dare next time. The assistant's hand shook, and then he looked over. Their boss was dead again. Auxiliary. He was wrong. He will dare to do it next time. Fen Ling led the clever Erxio to kill everyone in the enemy's wild area, making Mo Bei unable to grow at all. He wanted to go to Fen Ling's wild area to grow, but was blocked by Fen Ling and the assassin. There is no way to go. Mo Bei has fought so many times, but he has never fought such a frustrating battle. That's almost it. Fen Ling took a look at Smart Erxio's data and said, "Now, it is time for the battle to officially begin, and at this time, Mo Bei has not yet fully developed. This is a fatal blow to this team dominated by Mo Bei." Mo Bei squinted his eyes, killed a wild monster, and joined the war. Obviously, the opponent was ready to start a team battle at this time. If they dispersed again, the result would not be better than now, or even worse. Everyone, prepare for team battle. Yes. Fen Ling raised her lips, tilted her head, and then chuckled, "You idiot, it's our turn." "Okay, I know." The idiot leader rolled up his sleeves, ready to kill everyone anytime and anywhere. Although there are meat on the opposite side, they are more cautious. After all, no matter how powerful the meat is, they cannot survive without being surrounded. However, this guy called the second-rate leader seems to be really good. He went into their encirclement without saying a word. Rush, so what else to do? Of course it's a fight. However, When they aimed all their skills at the bastard, they found that their health bars suddenly ran out. Mob reacted the most timely and turned his skills directly behind him. However, at that moment, Feng Ling lightly tapped his skills, and the health bar of the bad guy who was about to die increased a little more. Just a little, so that the gangster aimed a skill at Mob and threw Mob directly into the air. Then, with fireballs, sword lights and shadows, he slashed randomly, and Mob died. Died again. 0/5/0, this is probably Mob's worst record since playing this game. At this moment, all of them died, and Feng Ling easily led the team to break through the defense tower. Then he returned to his home leisurely, because someone from the enemy was alive, but Mob suspected that the enemy wanted to play a trick on them. Otherwise, why should we let them go when we can clearly kill them now and win? What Mob didn't know was that Feng Ling didn't think so much, and there was no need to play tricks on them. It was just the first game, and she didn't want to stand out so much, so she planned to extend the time to make it look like they were struggling. You idiot, stay at home. Oh, the bad guy curled his lips, blaming him for being too powerful, so he couldn't use his skills now. The boss said that they must know how to hide their strength. This way you can win by surprise. If Feng Ling heard this, he would probably praise the for being a bit smart and using his brain. Mob played for 10 minutes and found that only 4 people appeared on the opposite side. The meat had never appeared in their sight before. It was like being disconnected. However, there is no possibility of being disconnected in this game, unless. It shouldn't be possible, this is an esports competition after all. Mob found that he really couldn't understand this team more and more. You can win quickly, but you have to give them points to even the score. You can block the attack with just one piece of flesh, but you still want the flesh to not appear. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 97. Chapter 97 Uncle Police. What does this Red Phoenix team mean? Could it be that, you are hiding your strength? Mob flashed his eyes and suddenly began to observe the opponent. If the enemy stopped attacking, then someone must have guided him. The captain on the other side played in the auxiliary system. In many teams, auxiliary systems are not provided because there is no such thing. What attack ability, and the auxiliary skill set in the game are difficult to come in handy in certain situations. And the support of the Red Phoenix team. Mob looked at the red avatar and squinted his eyes. For some reason, he always felt that the support named Juyu did not show his maximum ability. Looking at her route on the map, she even had time to go shopping in the wilderness. Mob felt a little complicated for a moment. Captain, they are going to break the crystal, what should we do? Nothing can be done. We lost this time. Mob stared at the support on the screen, and a sudden surge of expectation rose in his heart. This support may be the dark horse of the season. He has seen so many support, but there has never been a support player like her. It would not be an exaggeration to say that she is the ancestor of the auxiliary. At this moment, Feng Ling, the founder of the assistant, went to get the money leisurely with her pocket in her pocket. To be precise, she had bet more than half of her assets the day before. If she were not afraid that the casino would collapse, she would. It must be worth her entire net worth. So, there was another scene in the casino. The casino staff painfully gave Feng Ling a sum of money, and Feng Ling walked out leisurely with the money in her pocket. As for the robbery in the novel, it is simply impossible, because now is a legal society, and anyone who wants to take advantage of the fire must consider the knife above his head. If someone really takes advantage of the fire, then she can only. Really, Feng Ling rubbed her wrist and stepped on the face of the man who was knocked away. I told you that women and villains are the only ones you can't mess with. Did you miss the 9-year compulsory education in vain? Man. No one told him about this sentence at the beginning. Do you dare to say that you didn't change the wording? Hello, police officer, someone here wants to take advantage of the situation and rob a girl. Well, that's right, this is the place. Police uncle, please hurry up, I'm scared alone. Man. Can you say it again, touching your conscience? It's obvious that he should be the one who's scared now, okay. Don't move, be honest, I'm in a good mood today and don't want to annoy you. You'd better not mess with me, otherwise I'll beat you to death with money, then I'll kill you all. Man, Can you please stop being so violent? Isn't it okay for him to realize his mistake? Who called the police? The police who came were in a hurry for fear that the phone would be injured, but when they saw this scene, they were stunned. Is this the little girl with the soft and waxy voice on the phone? Lie to him. Feng Ling smiled sweetly, Uncle Policeman, don't you remember my voice? Police. Grass. Really are. But. The policeman glanced at the miserable man and then at Feng Ling's sisterly appearance, and twitched. Who is bullying whom? Police officer, don't be suspicious. I recorded everything. This is a recorder, you can use it as evidence. Feng Ling smiled innocently, and the policeman felt that he couldn't look directly at the word innocent now. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 98. Chapter 98. The boss always sees himself as an ordinary person. Lingling, if you are exposed like this, will there be any impact? Ning Shu worriedly said after Feng Shuang left. The existence of Feng Ling is a secret of the Alliance. The reason why the aliens are active so frequently now is because of Feng Ling. There is something about Feng Ling that they can only hope for but cannot achieve. 3 years ago, the man behind the scenes almost found Feng Ling, so the Alliance suggested that Feng Ling hide in prison for 3 years with the help of Feng Shuang. In the past 3 years, they have reshaped Feng Ling's identity. Today, Feng Ling is only a small member of the Alliance, and all secrets are told through Yun Kai. It doesn't matter, sooner or later I will be exposed. Only if I am exposed can the people behind it come out. But Ling. Don't worry, I will protect myself. Feng Ling reached out and rubbed Ning Shu's head roughly, just sing for me. Children, don't keep meddling in adults' affairs. Ning Shu, she is an adult. It's obviously her, Feng Ling, who is underage. Ning Shu pursed her lips and rummaged through the shop in a bitter tone while worrying about Feng Ling's affairs. The activities of alien species are particularly frequent now, and many people with special abilities lurking in the crowd have disappeared inexplicably. Since they have appeared in Luo City, it means that Luo City is already restless. Lingling, protect yourself. Feng Ling raised her eyebrows and glanced at her. You're just a scumbag and you want me to protect myself. Zaza. Ning Shu's mouth twitched. Boss, do you think anyone who is as good at offense and defense as you can still help yourself? Your existence is against heaven. After being hit by Feng Ling, Ning Shu lost interest in chatting with her. Chatting with this big boss would be a disaster for herself. Because the boss always sees himself as an ordinary person, he often makes her feel that she is not human. Feng Ling and Ning Shu roughly harmonized the tune, made up a few harmonies, and then walked away casually with their hands in their pockets. Joji's face has been very bad these days, because the number 1 and number 2 in the school are none other than Feng Ling and Fu Su. Fu Su is fine. After all, he is the young master of the Fu family and has been smart since he was a child. But what happened to Feng Ling? Didn't you say that your grades were not good? Can I get the first place in my grade if my grades are not good? You can't even do advanced mathematics if your grades are not good? Joji had a gloomy face and felt like she had been deceived. Teacher, is it because we didn't do well in the exam that you... While Feng Shuang was doing her homework, she carefully caught Joji's displeasure and asked softly, I'm sorry, we failed to live up to your expectations. But teacher, believe us, we will definitely surpass them in the next provincial and municipal unified examinations. The first place will always be in our class. Feng Shuang has always been a good, sensible, and polite child in Zhouji's eyes. She nodded with satisfaction and looked at Feng Shuang with admiration. Teacher believes in you. From today on, the teacher will help you with tutoring every night after school. The fact that you placed third in this test shows that you have some strength. As long as we study harder, we will definitely surpass your sister in the future. Well, thank you teacher, I will try my best. Feng Shuang nodded with a smile and then turned and left the office. At that moment, the clear sky turned to thunderstorms. Feng Ling. No, she must not let Feng Ling surpass her, absolutely not. She must not hear the words that she can surpass your sister as long as she works hard, she must not hear it a second time. The best person can always be her. Feng Shuang bit her lips tightly and quickened her pace. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 99. Chapter 99. The charm of the little ancestor is unstoppable. He bumped into Su Zioxi, who was also going to the office. Su Zioxi seemed to be walking in a hurry. She lowered her head and didn't even look at the person she bumped into. She hurriedly said sorry and was about to leave. Feng Shuang stopped her with fierce eyes. What are you going to do? Feng Shuang, Su Zioxi raised her head and saw the person in front of her. She immediately changed her attitude, took 2 steps back and put her whole body on guard. You don't have to worry about what I'm going to do, etc. Feng Shuang looked at Su Zioxi, the corners of her mouth slowly raised. I heard that my sister did very well in the exam this time. What do you want to do? But so what if you do well in the exam? I am the only one in my aunt's eyes. Feng Shuang's voice was like a gust of cold wind constantly surrounding Su Zioxi's ears. She circled around her and sighed, if it were me, I would have died of shame. After all, my own mother doesn't even believe in her biological daughter. Not only does she only like the adopted child, she also wants to marry the Su family property to her. Su Zioxi, I wonder if my aunt told you. This weekend, at my new song launch conference, she will announce that I have officially become Su Ming's goddaughter. Do you know what this means? Means, your mother is about to become my mother. I also have a mother. Shut up, Su Zioxi covered her ears and yelled at Feng Shuang, Feng Shuang, don't be complacent. One day, you will get retribution. Then let me see if you will still be there when the retribution comes. Feng Shuang looked at Su Zioxi's running back and smiled unusually sweetly. It is said that people with depression are prone to suicide. Su Zioxi, you feel very aggrieved and depressed recently. It doesn't matter, because in the future, you will feel even more uncomfortable. The corners of Feng Shuang's mouth were curved, but there was a cold light between her brows and eyes. Made in? This weekend is a day that many people are crazy about, because Fengqi is about to appear. As soon as this news came out, the word Fengqi was trending on Weibo for 2 days and 2 nights, and it remained at the top of the list. In the past few years since Fengqi appeared, no one has seen what she looks like, and no one has heard her voice. Everyone only knows that Fengqi is an extremely talented lyricist and composer. Every song of hers can make people crazy. Now, such a respectable big shot is about to appear, how can you not be excited? Draw your sword, sisters. Labor and management are die-hard fans of Fengqi, no one can compete with me. Fans of Ningxu, I won't let you go this time, I'm sorry. Tickets for a concert with 2,000 people were sold out in just 1 second. Gu Bei stared at the barley out of stock reminder with his mouth open, and then pressed exit with trembling hands. Grass. Oh my god, he was ready just now, why is it not there anymore? Not a human being. Ningshu was quite calm. She thought about the charm of her little ancestor, which was unstoppable. She threw her phone aside and said, "Want to grab tickets?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah," Gubei nodded like a chicken pecking at rice. Ningshu clicked on Gubei's phone interface and said, "Go to Feng Shuang's place and have a look. If your guess is good, they probably haven't finished it yet." Feng Shuang probably wanted to compete with her this time, and there was a 2,000-person crowd. Who knew that she invited Feng Qi? Feng Shuang's 2,000 tickets are destined to be sold at a low price. Their coffee space is not big enough to sell 2,000 tickets. Gu Bei looked at Feng Shuang's face with disgust. "I don't want it. The singing is so ugly, but I have the nerve to hold a concert." End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 100. Chapter 100. Why should she? Gu Bei turned off the phone interface in disgust. It was said that Feng Shuang also had a trump card this time, but it was not worth mentioning in front of their little ancestor. Why did Feng Qi go to Ningshu's concert as a special guest? Feng Shuang recently listened to Zhou Ji's words and has been struggling for the provincial and municipal unified examinations in half a month. Finally, I went online and saw 2 words about her longing for cooperation. And the reason why she was on the hot search was actually because of Ningshu. Jealousy filled Feng Shuang's eyes. Ningshu, why should she? A familiar face gradually appeared in Feng Shuang's mind, and the word Feng Ling lingered in her mind. Feng Ling, could it be Feng Ling? No, it's impossible. She knows Feng Qi's temperament very well. When world-famous musicians invited her to write music, she rejected them all, let alone Ningshu. Although Feng Ling is the CEO of Dingsheng, he is not so awesome that he can be compared with that musician. Shuang, our tickets are out of stock. How could it be slow in sales? There were only 2,000 tickets for her press conference, and Ningshu had sold out all of them. How could she be slow in selling? This is impossible. Ningshu has Feng Qi, most of them go there for Feng Qi, and I heard that Feng Qi will sing a duet with Ningshu this time. For them, it is an opportunity that cannot be missed, and the time will never come again. The agent patiently explained, in short, we must start Plan B now. Feng Shuang nodded and said, "Okay, I will inform Brother Chenzi, you can be in charge of public relations." Yes. When the agent left, a sinister look gradually appeared in Feng Shuang's eyes. Ningshu, Feng Ling, why do all the people around Feng Ling target her? She, Feng Ling, is just a person who came out of prison and has a criminal record. Why does the whole world revolve around her? How does she deserve it? Zhang Chenzi came to Luo City partly for the purpose of his marriage to the Feng family, and partly because the first esports match of the Glory Arena was to be held in Luo City, just 1 month later. So these days he is leading the team to practice at the internet cafe under the Zhang family's name. It was already close to 10 o'clock when he received Feng Shuang's call. Zhang Chenzi rubbed away his fatigue and said, Shuang, what's going on? Nothing, I just want to ask Brother Chenzi, can I announce to the public that you are coming to my press conference? Feng Shuang paused and continued, I want more people to see it and prove to them that I am worthy of you. You are the daughter-in-law recognized by my Zhang family, no one dares to question you. But today, Feng Shuang's crying voice came from the other end of the phone. The sound became louder and louder, making Zhang Chenzi panic for a moment. Shuang? What's wrong? Who bullied you? Tell Brother Chenzi, I will definitely help you if you can. It's nothing, I won't say anything anymore, I'm afraid of hurting my feelings. Feng Shuang's voice was very low. Coupled with the soft and waxy nature, Zhang Chenzi's heart was immediately captured. It's Feng Ling, right? She said you're not good enough for me. Who else in this world besides Feng Ling would be so malicious to such a gentle and beautiful girl like Feng Shuang? There was no sound from the other side, which made Zhang Qinzi even more confident. He snorted coldly, she dares. Don't worry, Shuang, I will definitely be there to cheer you on over the weekend. Just let the news out that I will appear. I want to see what other tricks Feng Ling can pull off. Well, brother Qinzi, thank you. Feng Shuang felt ecstatic in her heart. End of this chapter.